Yay, I think I finally got on live streaming. YouTube Live, Mimi Natural Hair Forum. Welcome back to my channel, which I haven't uploaded a video on for a reasonable amount of time because of life and etc. etc. I hope that I find you well, and I hope that you found my channel well. I can't see myself on YouTube, but I can see myself on my um, broadcaster. But if you're there, please go ahead and chime in. Let me know you're on. Let me know that you're listening. Let me know what you like or dislike during this conversation. So, well, if you want to see my hair, I did this hairstyle last Saturday morning because I went to my niece's graduation. She graduated, got her master's in elementary education, and she's younger than me, y'all. She like just breezed right on through there with the grace of God and stayed strong. And yeah, so now she's got her master's in elementary education and is adding some Spanish on. So congratulations to her. Shout out, Bria. Hi. If you're watching or anyone related. um, so yeah, anyways, it's a bunch of flat twists and it's getting a little bit fuzzy. A little bit fuzzier, of course, than what it was when I first did it. But I just use a rat tail comb, which I don't have right in front of me, so I won't worry about showing that, but for parting. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it. Honestly, sometimes you just have to start doing something because I didn't know how I was going to style it. I'll turn around and let you see the back. If you can see. Hopefully you can see that. I knew something needed to be done, so I did. And God bless me um, to do what I need to do when I need to do it, even if I don't know before, even during the time that I'm working on it, what I'm going to do to my hair. So anyways, let's get to the topic of the day. Again, if you're just joining, please chime in, text me, let me know that you're joining me on Learning with Natural Hair. I also have a channel on Facebook called This Little Natural. There's a This Little Natural for hair, um, hair ideas. Let me know what you're doing with your hair. You can post pictures. If you know of natural hair salons or people who advocate for natural hair and styling, you can give that information there too, also as kind of a marketing tool. Some people have, or at least one person has used it that way too, and that's okay to use it for that. You know, if you want to get people to come and get their hair styled by you. Or if you have ideas about how to grow or take care of natural hair, please do chime in because this is a learning experience. My channel is called Learning with Natural Hair. So obviously I haven't mastered care of natural hair, but I've learned from many women on YouTube, um, just giving instruction about what our hair is like and how to take care of it. You know, when I first went natural, I had some unrealistic expectations of what my journey was going to be like because I thought, you know, well, is when my hair grows this long, it's going to be this big, you know? You can't see my other hand. Like, after a while, it's going to be, you know, this nice big afro, you know? And my hair shrinks so much, like probably 70, 80, between 70 and 80%, if not more. Um, so even though my hair has grown from where it was, it still shrinks and it gets like this big, and in the back, even maybe that big, because it coils so tightly that you can't even tell. But with learning about my hair, I think, even though I haven't always mastered this either, I think it's important to learn to embrace what God has given us and the beauty of it, which I have not arrived yet with doing that. Part of that is like you hear certain things from other people. Like you hear people speak negative things about certain types of hair. You know, you hear people say good hair and bad hair, and it's like, oh my gosh, like that's not cool. And then you hear, you know, just things that are not cool. But you can think about ways to embrace your hair, even the shrinkage that your hair has. You know, there are people who cut their hair off in the summer. So one thing that I think about with shrinkage is, well, I don't have to cut my hair off, and this is just a way of me helping myself to embrace my hair. I can just let it shrink. You know, if you don't want your hair all over, if you don't want it out big, or you don't want it like straight and long, you can just wash it, let it air dry, and it shrinks, and you don't have to cut it. And then when you're ready for it to be bigger or longer again, you can, you know, go through that process of picking it out or blow drying it or stretching it or twisting, braiding it, whatever it is that you need to go through in that process to stretch your hair out again. And you didn't. So just finding ways to think more positively and embracing the blessing of what God has given you for your hair. So that's my advice. Just start thinking about ways to do that in your life. And when you see or hear negative things, or even when you yourself think negative things, because let me tell you, that's another issue, is watching your own thoughts and how you think about your own hair. It's because sometimes we can be the negative one and say and think negative things and bad things about our hair. So yeah, changing the way we think is very important, because it also impacts how we care for our hair. If you are frustrated with your hair and you're upset with your hair and the type of hair that you have, and then you go through and start detangling it, and you're mad at your hair, you're mad at the knots that it's making on the end, you might not be so gentle with your hair because you have an attitude. And when you have an attitude, actions follow nasty attitudes, and you might start ripping through your hair and just not being patient with it. And quite frankly, that's not a good way to be with your hair, because one thing I've learned is that somebody said this on YouTube, and I'm sure multiple people say it, but your hair is growing. Just like if you were relaxed, when you were relaxed, you had to get touch-ups because you started to get what we call new growth. And that meant that your hair was growing. And part of this journey is not always about getting your hair to grow, because a lot of times your hair is growing. It's learning, as I've learned from women on YouTube, to retain the length that you get. And a big part of that is moisture, moisturizing your hair. You need to use water, H2O. Water does like things for my hair that some other products like just wouldn't be able to do. Like I need to detangle my hair. See, when I was relaxed, that would probably be something that I did when my hair was dry, at least some of the time. But when I detangle my hair now, like I need to be under the shower a lot of times. Like, I don't really take the time with my hair just in a straight natural state to try to detangle it, because like I said before, it's so tightly coiled. And we're going to get to this natural products thing. Just make my segue into it talking about moisturization. So you need to use water. And different hair has different types of porosity. Some people's hair receives water very easily, while other people, it might take more effort. I saw one young lady on YouTube, she was kind of squeezing the water into her hair strands. If that's what it takes for you to saturate your hair with water, then go for it. Squeeze it in. Some people, when you get under the water, it takes maybe a minute or less, and your hair is taking the water in itself. If your hair is not receiving water, you should ask yourself, or you should check with feeling your hair, or by knowing what you put in your hair, is there a lot of product built up on your hair? because if there's a lot of product built, maybe it's blocking some of that water and your hair can't receive it. Maybe you need to wash it first and then, just kind of rinse that out and see if your hair receives water better. And once you get done washing it, or co-washing it, which is just using conditioner. If you're new to the natural community, there's some terminology that you might be like, what was that? Like, I don't know what co-washing is. Can somebody explain that in English? So co-washing is when you just use like a conditioner to wash your hair. No shampoo, because shampoo is known to be more stripping of your hair strands, more drying, and so there are a lot of people who are natural who just co-wash their hair, the majority or maybe even all the time, just cleansing it with a conditioner. But sometimes you have so much product buildup or your hair feels so, whatever, that you just feel like you need that clean, refreshing start, then you might think about going in and doing a shampoo. And if you find that shampooing and conditioning is something that you want to do all the time because maybe that's what works for you or maybe that's what you're used to, and if it's not doing any damage to your hair, then know your hair, know your hair type, because this is another thing that you learn being a natural person. And I've been, I think, since 2009, so it's almost been 10 years, almost getting there, 2 more years, Lord willing. Yeah, since around June or July, something like that, 2009. And I've had my ups and downs in this hair journey, and my hair's not as long as I wished it would have been by now, or and I wonder sometimes, was it longer in the past than it is right now, but I haven't straightened it for some months now, so you can't even tell right now what the length is of it. But I will tell you that there was a time early on in my journey where I couldn't even fit my hair into a ponytail, and to get my hair into a ponytail was like a milestone for me. And it's things like that that you should be grateful for as you go along your journey. Just find little goals, little things to be grateful for, to thank God for as you go along your journey of learning how your hair works and taking care of your hair. And sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes there's frustration that comes with it. And like I said, sometimes we have to change the way we think about things. And sometimes we have to not let comments of other people get to us when they say negative things about our hair. But learning what your hair needs and how to take care of it. It's your own baby, This one girl referred to her hair. She said, "It's my baby. I'm not going to cut it." But yeah, just each baby is different. Each baby is unique. You have to learn that baby and what is good for it. Do that for your hair and treat it well, Treat your hair like, this is something I thought about recently, like treat your body like a project. Like I get to decide to the best of my ability how my hair is going to be, how my body's going to be, by how I treat it, by what I do to it. Am I moving? Because if you're moving, if you're exercising, that's increasing your circulation, which is increasing blood flow throughout your body. So that includes your scalp, if it's going throughout your whole body. Am I eating well? What kind of nutrition am I getting? Am I eating a lot of chips and candy and cake and pop and tea? And I shouldn't say tea. It depends on how much and when. But tea is actually has some good things for you, just like coffee. Coffee has caffeine and things in it like that. But if you take it at minimum, it's not necessarily as bad. Why did I say tea? Yeah, that was a bad place to insert tea. So I'll just back up and delete that because, yeah, tea has good benefits. There are things you should know about coffee and tea, like the tannin content and how if you take it with supplements or with food, it can actually pull the minerals out of your food. So you want to take it maybe 2 hours or 30 minutes at the least, maybe away from when you eat, either before or after. But anyways, moving on, is my diet high in refined sugars, like just, white table sugars? Am I, on the other hand, eating fruits and vegetables? Am I moving my body? Like my friend says, she says, I don't want to say workout because it's such a groggy term. I want to say moving. Am I exercising? Am I moving my body? Am I, um, helping my body to get rid of metabolic wastes and to circulate oxygen throughout my body, to circulate my blood and nutrition throughout my body? Am I moving, or am I just kind of sitting still? And yeah, how much water am I drinking? How much am I hydrating? Because a lot of times we think we're drinking enough water, sometimes we might not be drinking. So I'm currently a student at a naturopathic medical college. When I graduate, Lord willing, I graduate from here, I'll have my doctors of naturopathic medicine. And so this is some of the info that I'm talking about, kind of um, pulling from that area, where I'm learning more about nutrition and about the body and about what we eat and how it impacts us and everything. Um, and what supplements do, like what do certain herbs do, um, what does food do, what do minerals do, and things like that. Those are all things that we have to study, which is so much information. It just takes continual learning and studying to really retain and start to master that information, at least of what is known, because of course people don't know everything about creation. They can only talk about what they know. But so before I get to the natural stuff, still, I'll just show you some of the products that are just from the store that I found work with my hair. My hair would probably be considered like 4C, 4B, something like that. And I think in the back it's actually a little more curly than it is in the front. And also, I'm working on an area up here where my hair was breaking and whatever, whether it's mechanical stress or emotional stress. I had some breakage like in the crown of my head, and I actually watched a video, and thanks again to the people who post on YouTube, how do you take care of something like that? If you're having breakage, how do you do that? And they were talking, this one young lady was talking about moisturizing that area, paying more attention to that area, not just overlooking it or whatever. So like I said, first use water. um, If you're using the LOC method, which is liquid oil cream, which people talk about, it's not mine. I don't claim rights to it. And when I used it one time, it didn't seem desirable to me. Maybe I did something wrong, or maybe I just was in a bad mindset with it. But anyways, so your liquid is water in this case. The oil, this Hot 6 oil, this is African Royal, and yeah, I'm not being sponsored to make this video, but this is something that one of my sisters used in her daughter's hair, and her daughter has like really long hair. I think part of that is genetic, but then also that length retention, and she probably has stronger, thicker strands. Like my strands they're thinner, but I have a lot of them, but they're thinner strands. So yeah, like I do get breakage and things like that, and it's something I've dealt with all my life pretty much. But anyways, this oil seems to absorb in my hair, interestingly enough, because oils seem a lot of times like they mostly coat your hair, but this actually seems to absorb into my hair pretty well. And some of the things, the first ingredient is olive oil, and then there's canola oil, wheat germ oil, sweet almond, safflower, castor, sesame, vitamins E, A, and D, cyclomethicone, which I think is a silicone, sheep sorrel, yarrow, slippery elm bark. Slippery elm is actually like a demulcent herb, so it brings like a coating of moisture to what it touches. Sage, henna. Henna is known to strengthen the hair. Comfrey, burdock root. Comfrey is actually used as a healing for like They taught us that it's used in bone healing, but some heal superficially, so you have to be careful with what kind of wound you're using it with, or maybe even wound healing. But comfrey, burdock root, ginseng, golden seal, cherry bark, black walnut, chamomile, alfalfa, hyssop, wheat germ, and fragrance. Chamomile is something that's made in a tea. If you've heard of sleepy time tea, that's chamomile tea. And chamomile is known to be kind of sedative, make you a little bit sleepy, or at least calm down your stress levels. But teas are known to have antioxidant properties, and antioxidants help you fight damage, cellular damage. And our hair is made up of cells, so it helps maybe to protect the cells in your hair. I've been hearing about tea rinses lately that people are doing, where I guess they're just, taking water infused with tea and spraying it on their hair to rinse it out, or either used as a leave-in. It's not something that I've personally tried yet, consistently or anything like that, or ever maybe, but it is something that I am interested in possibly trying in the future. And the cream is this Bronner Brothers or whatever oil moisturizer. Is like an alternative or a generic to pink moisturizer oil. Now this one, I get this one because it's cheaper. It's like $3 and something, maybe $4. You can find it I think grocery stores, probably hair stores. If you get it at a grocery store, it might be cheaper. But this one says it has castor oil in it. And I find also that with my hair type, castor oil seems to absorb pretty well with my hair. So that's nice. This seems to absorb in my hair pretty well. And you can use these all three together. You could use the liquid and the oil, then top it off with this. Or some people do LCO and they go liquid cream oil, I guess. They mix that up. But the other day, so our school had an annual conference, and you have either a choice. You can sign up to be sponsored as a student for this conference, which I have done in the past 2 years in a row, or you can have a 4-day, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4-day weekend. And this year I decided to take it off. So the first full day off, my friend and I decided, because I have been talking to her, let's make some natural stuff. I bought this huge tub of shea butter online. I paid maybe between $12 and $16 for it. But it's raw African shea butter. It says it's 100% natural, and it says it is a product of Africa, which my camera is not the best, so it takes a little bit of time to focus. But so I use this as a base. I also use coconut oil as a base for some of the products, and I can show you what it looks like in the inside. So this is with some of it taken out, so it's kind of this thick, like cream. But if you can see this, I can put it on here and kind of rub it in. It's about the consistency of cocoa butter. So if you've ever used cocoa butter, it's this nice thicker coating that it gives you. And so this one, I used to make a product for the strands of my hair. I made a separate oil, a scalp oil. And this one I made with coconut oil. And you can probably use shea butter on your scalp too, but if you want to kind of leave your hair just a little bit more room to breathe, coconut oil seems to be a thinner oil. It melts more readily, I think, than shea butter does. It has a thinner consistency than does shea butter, but a thicker consistency than olive oil. It's a solid at cool temperatures. And shea butter is also a solid at cool temperatures, or even at room temperature. Like my room isn't super cool right now, but that's more solid than maybe coconut oil would be at this temperature. There are different consistencies And I was watching a video about whether to use shea butter on your scalp or just on your strands, and one lady suggested that she uses it, if not exclusively, mostly on her strands rather than her scalp. You do want to make sure that your scalp can breathe and produce the oils that it needs to, and that it's not being clogged down and have this thick coating of stuff so that it can't release, because your scalp needs to release oils. It needs to, be able to have that outlet. And if you're clogging it up, you might actually be preventing some of those oils from being produced. So this scalp oil that I made, I was keeping it in the refrigerator, and I put some on my scalp before this video. So part of it has liquidified, and I'm shiny because I have oil. Once you use oils, you need somewhere to put the extra, so you might put it on your arms or whatever. But if you want it to stay solid, keep it in your refrigerator. It stays solid, and then when you get ready to use it, you can take it out maybe an hour, 30 minutes before, to, if you just want it, you're not in a hurry or anything, just let it sit out. Or if you are in a more of a hurry, you can just sit it in a bowl of warm to hot water. Or if you don't really care, you can also just kind of scrape your finger across the solid part, and that's what I did. I just scrape my fingernail against the solid oil and like put it on my scalp, which it feels nice too, going on cold, especially if it's a hot day and you had it in the refrigerator and you get it, put it on your scalp cold, and it's a nice little initial cool touch to your scalp. But what was mixed in here, so I have some oils, and these are essential oils that I put some. You have to be careful with essential oils sometimes, because if you don't mix it with other things, it can be rather strong, and some people actually get rashes from it. So you might not want to use more than 5 or 10 drops in something like this. You have to just try it out for yourself and see what your skin tolerance is. But in there I put some peppermint oil. I also put some coconut oil, olive oil. It was about 5 drops of peppermint oil. And because I had oil on my hands, it rubbed off some of the ingredients of what I put in here. I just wrote it right on the top. But I put a couple of biotin vitamins in there, some lavender oil. So I have another one. This is lavender, and these are supposed to be 100% essential oils. This was a peppermint. And yeah, different things like that. And you just make your own, like I said, like this was like between $12 and $16, whatever, and then shipping. And these little containers, I got 10 of these for $1 at the dollar store. 10. So I mean, that can go, the oil and these, if you're only using 5 to 10 drops, imagine how long that can last you. You can make your own hair oil, your own scalp oil, your own body oil, and know what's actually going on your skin, rather than buying a product and maybe not understanding what some of the ingredients are because you can't even pronounce them maybe. But doing this, you save money. You have a batch like that you can go to and make more when you need it. I got a bottle of castor oil. This is about $4 or so, something like that, maybe $3 to $5. And if you're mixing this in, like with stuff that can last you a little while, it can last you several treatments, and yeah. So I made that, and I also made a couple of other things. I don't usually use exfoliants in my face, but lately I've been getting bumps and stuff in my face, and I think part of it is stress and digestive stuff. And for the digestive stuff, I'm actually been going through, not like perfectly doing a cleanse, because you're supposed to like kind of change the way you eat and things like that, not eating very heavy. I haven't completely stuck to the best diet with this, but I found this one cleanse. It was on sale, and I've done it before. But it also comes with a pack of probiotics. But this there's the detox part, and then there's fiber part. Now, fiber helps to move food through your gut, through your colon. And I'm learning more and more at this school that the colon is a very important part of your body, because all of your body relies on uh, all of your physical body, just naturally speaking, because I believe in spiritual things too, according to what scripture says. And so I don't believe that everything naturally determines everything about us. But naturally speaking, it said that all of the food that we eat, all the nutrients that we take in through our food, that's what feeds every organ of our body. Naturally speaking, that's how things work. But so it's very important what we put in our body, but even more important than what we put in our body is the ability to break that down and the ability to absorb it so that our organs can use it, so that our skin, our brain, our liver, our heart, our muscles, our blood, our bones, our spleen, our pancreas, our kidneys, all these, our lungs, all these multiple organs of the body, they need nutrition, like they need rest, we need sleep. Because think about it, if you're going all the time during the day, when is your body having time to just, if we get physically tired when we're going through the day, we're exercising, we're walking, we're grocery shopping, we're going to classes, whatever we're doing, if we get physically tired, then we should understand that just like our body externally feels tired, our organs also need that rest. They need that time to recuperate, because they can get tired too. And so when we're sleeping, God made it so that our bodies have a time to recuperate. And you look in scripture, it says, "For so he giveth his beloved rest." God gives his beloved rest. Why? Because he knows rest is so important for us. Rest is so important for our stress levels. Rest is so important for our digestive system and the recuperation of our organs and how well they work. Like, it's so important. And God gives rest to us. Like, it's not his will for his people to not be getting rest and sleep and, proper nutrition and digestion and all those things, because we need to be healthy so that we can serve him. So physically, and we need to be spiritually healthy so that we can serve him spiritually, mentally, emotionally, which, how much are we eating? I have not been eating enough of the word lately to edify myself, build up my spiritual person. And so as we feed ourselves and treat ourselves naturally, we should also be thinking, how am I feeding and treating myself spiritually? What am I doing to feed my inner person? Because scripture talks about how, like, natural things teach us about spiritual things. And so if you need to eat, if every system in your body depends on what you put in your mouth, depends on what you ingest and what you digest and how properly you absorb or do not absorb those things, even more so spiritually, like, what are we putting into our spiritual body, like our unseen body? Like, it's like, what are we entertaining? What are we listening to? What are we thinking about? What are we saying with our words? Because the Bible says that our words are so powerful. It says that life and death is in the power of our tongue. So, you hear those people who say, "Oh, you never was nothing. You never be nothing." I'm so grateful to God that I didn't have parents who talked to me like that. Because words bring fruit. Just like when you sow a seed in the ground, it's going to bring forth the fruit of what you sowed. Same thing in the spirit, according to the word of God, which is the absolute truth. Whatever we sow with our words, the seeds that we sow with our words are also creative. And the Bible even calls it fruit. It says, "They that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." So what we're speaking is producing fruit. And what we speak, that fruit that we produce, is what we're going to eat. And it's either going to be harmful for us or it's going to be good for us. So watch your words too. That one was more beneficial than anything else that I'm talking about, naturally speaking. So anyways, this one has most of the labels still on it. This is the one that I made to coat your hair strands. So this has shea butter in it, olive oil, rosemary, orange oil, yum, peppermint, coconut oil, biotin, alpha-linoleic acid, which I didn't actually look up specifically for the hair, but I looked it up, or I looked at the label. It actually protects against cell damage again. So, yeah, I just put it in there. And beta carotene. It has some beta carotene in there too. Alright, so the other thing that I made, and I was talking about my skin before I went off to where I went, but it was good anyway. It was a good path to go down. I made an exfoliating scrub, and the base of this, the part that actually scrubs, is actually Epsom salt, which I got, again, a package for $1 at the dollar store. There's an ingredient in it that says fragrance, which I don't know what that means, because you don't know what kind of fragrance is that. It wasn't specific, but excuse me, 2 ingredients were Epsom salt and fragrance. But anyways, I gotta get off of here and study soon, but I wanted to make a video. So the orange color is from beta carotene, which is like vitamin A basically, and so that's why it's orange, and it's actually an oil base too. So what I put in here is Epsom salt, lavender oil, lemongrass, olive oil, beta carotene, coconut oil, and ylang ylang. So those are the things that I put in here. And so you put this on, and again, this is, I mean, not again, but I experiment on myself. So if something makes sense to you, you can't see a reason why you shouldn't do it, go ahead and see how your skin reacts to it. My phone just fell off because it was vibrating. Okay. So anyways, I think I'm going to try this scrub tonight. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you subscribe to my channel. And if you're here again, say something. Go ahead and type in the live chat box. It's in. I haven't seen anybody say anything yet, but hopefully somebody's checking this video out, or if not, it'll probably be on the channel later, so you can check it out later. But if you want to see me try out this scrub, let me show you the texture of it first. So like I said, it's Epsom salt. So that's what those little crystals are. Epsom salt has a lot of magnesium in it. I think it's, I'm going to put them on my face and try not to get in my eye. So I think the majority of Epsom salt is magnesium. So it has, you kind of scrub with it. And like, if I didn't say, I think I said, but you want to rinse this off when you're done. But I'm just going to put that on and kind of scrub with it. Scrub these bumps that have been coming in my face. And it gives you, you know, that feeling like scrubbing. Just, you know, scrub according to your skin sensitivity or whatever. Be aware that you're not scrubbing too hard. But anyways, magnesium is good for muscles. Magnesium is good in aiding in muscle contraction. So it helps to relax muscles. It's also important to help contract muscles. Magnesium is. And vitamin A is actually good for the eyes, but it's probably very good for your skin too. I didn't actually do the research on all of these before I put them together. Yeah, anyways, when you get done, you can just wash this magnesium off. But this will moisturize your skin as well as give it a little bit of exfoliation. You can rinse it off, or you can stay shiny if you want to. You can also leave it on for a little bit, give it a little while to soak, and then rinse it off later if you want to do it that way. But if you're spending a lot of time in the sun and you feel like your skin is getting a lot of sun exposure, this might be something that you want to do. before you go out in the sun or after you come back in from the sun, and either or also or either or um, and just give your skin some TLC. Oh, I'm so shiny now. Yeah, so it smells good. It smells good. I think it's probably the lemongrass that I'm smelling in it. Lemongrass is nice scent. Yeah, it's the lemongrass. But it also has lavender in it. So yeah, it feels nice and soft. And if you have oily skin where it's like too oily, you might want to go in after, not just with water and rinse it off. You might want to go in with a soap also to rinse the extra oil off. Or if you find it's just too oily, then maybe you don't want to use oil as a base for your exfoliant. Yeah, just your face. Don't forget your eyebrows. Sometimes my eyebrows get dandruff because they're too dry underneath. They also have hair follicles, so don't forget to give your eyebrows some moisture. Yeah, that smells nice. That lemongrass in there. And a lot of these oils and these products that you make, they're versatile. So the same oil that you use in your scalp, you might be able to use that on your skin. Or if it's a coconut base and you've used nothing but edible things in it, you might even be able to take it internally. You just have to watch what you're using and know whether it's edible or not. And be careful also with essential oils and the content. If they're edible, that's what is recommended before you ingest them. They recommend that it's edible. So you might have to use your judgment on that one. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, if you're on Facebook, or if you are going to think about getting a Facebook, go on Facebook and type in This Little Natural and also This Little Natural Health and Fitness, and you can see what I posted there. Sometimes I upload my videos from YouTube onto Facebook there with This Little Natural from here, Learning with Natural Hair. So thanks again for your time. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. If you learned something, do comment below in the box and let me know what you learned. Let me know what you enjoyed and what your experiences are either with making natural products or if you learned something through this, let me know and let me know how it works for you if you decide to make it yourself. All right, have a blessed day. Bye.